Hello, Jennifer.
Hello, Tolu.
Hi,
Tico.
hi, hi. It's nice to see you all the way from
Thank you.
Kenya.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, nice to see you, Jennifer. All right, so I'll be handing over to you right now as you give us a brief history about Africa Voiceover Day. Over to you now.
Thanks, Tolu.
Yeah.
Thanks for passing over the baton. And greetings to everybody who has made it in the house. Wow, yeah. This has been a long time coming. This is the second Africa Voiceover Day celebration. It began last year, 2024. And just like today, it was full house from all over Africa. And so just looking at where we've come now, 1 year, it just gives me the shivers because this is so foretelling. This is just wonderful for seeing when Africans come together. First of all, just how diverse we are, how the continent is connecting. And so Africa Voiceover Day is just one part of that, but you could say it's the hub. We're striving to get it to be the hub. And just like most things, it began as a germ of an idea in someone's mind. And for me, Africa Voiceover Day began in the heart of Bidemi, a thought leader in her own right. And in one of our conversations, I believe it was in 2022, as we had connected VO Africa, and then APVA began to do a lot of activity. APVA stands for the African Podcast and Voice Association, right, Tolu? So when she said, Jenny, what do you think about having Africa Voiceover Day? I was like, another day. These days are made in the West. What do they mean anyway? She was like, I think we need to celebrate our day. And she hung on to that idea and she turned my heart around. And so she brought together some amazing people who I'm now very, very proud to call close allies and friends. She brought together Chilu Lemba. She brought together Chuku Emeka. She brought together T-Code, strong voices from Nigeria, King E. Afemike. Have I said his name right? And Nadim from Egypt. We had Sean Shobo, and we had Leslie. She brought together a team of people from all over Africa. Leslie's from South Africa, and a contingency from Nigeria, which is where a lot of voiceover activity was happening that we had no clue about in Kenya. And one LinkedIn introduction introduced me to Emeka in 2021. Emeka had put together the largest voiceover conference in Africa that was building bridges and continues to build bridges between the continent, amongst us in the continent, and into the West. That very first one had us talking to people from the UK, had us talking to people from the USA. We were in rooms we never thought we'd be in because of that amazing effort from Nigeria. And so when Bidemi put us all together in one room and she said, people, let's do this. And we began to think about it. Pick a day. The 5th of May is not picked by coincidence. We thought long and hard. And 5 is the symbol of unity. It's the symbol of strength. And when you put your fifths together, it's the symbol of collaboration, the handshake. And so we picked the 5th of May. Of course, we had to make sure there was nothing else on that day. So a lot of background work went into that. And that's the day we picked to celebrate African voices. We came together to think about what would be the cause, what would be the best thing to use this day for. And as you guys know, in many ways, Africa is still the dark continent to many people. Many times we're asked to speak in an African accent. And we're like, which part of Africa exactly do you mean? And so just that, demystifying the African accent to the West And even amongst ourselves, the diversity of Africa that exists was one of the causes. And then to bring about all these amazing people that I've mentioned who have, in Nigeria, we have schools who are constantly training people in the business of voiceover. Today, I'm excited to see South Africa in the house with Craig Ross. That's a first for us, yeah. And we have Dr. Shahend Ahmed, who's representing Egypt. And so in many ways, Africa is not fully, we haven't yet encompassed Africa. Ghana is in the house today. We've been looking for Ghana. Yes. And so Central Africa, we're still looking for the Central Africans to bring them on board. Shahenda, we're looking for the rest of North Africa. So this Africa Voiceover Day is also a shout out to where voiceover actors are and potential. Because especially now in Africa, where we're united in economies that are unfriendly, runaway governments, as it were. But voiceover allows you to make money with speaking. And hey, isn't that the best job in the world? And so trying to reach out to other voiceover actors, people who can potentially learn. We have people who do a lot of training. Emeka is he's also like a discoverer. He takes his machete and he goes into the heart of Uganda and he says, "Where are you? Come out. Yes, we're going to pay you to speak. No, it's not a lie. Come, let me show you how to do it." Right? And so these are the people, our ambassadors, our pioneers, and you, everyone who's on this platform this evening, are Africa Voiceover Day. By extension, you begin to reach into the areas we, as the leadership or the thought think tank behind Africa Voiceover Day, you can reach further too. And through the various voiceover communities, which is one of the focuses of this year's Africa Voiceover Day, is bring people together where they can get educated, where they can see that they're not alone. They're not doing voiceover business alone. There are rate cards. There is structure. There is organization. There is quality. There is collaboration. There's audiovisual creativity. So that when the West comes, or anyone else, even amongst ourselves, which is another topic of the evening that we're excited to talk about, what can we do even amongst ourselves? And so all of that is what Africa Voiceover Day portends. And with each year, we look at a different aspect of it. And we'll be unfolding and unpacking that with you in the various panels that are going to happen this evening. And so I'm very excited to have been given this opportunity to give you the history. It's an exciting history. Like I said, a germ of an idea that continues to flourish and grow, and the roots spread deep and wide. And as we all put together our voices, the reign of favor and the reign of the one who smiles on Africa will continue to cause us to flourish. I mean, the only way is up for Africa Voiceover Day and African voice talent. And so with that, I'd like to pass the baton back to Tolu. Although I'd just like to ask if anyone else has something to share from those beginning conversations, because those guys I mentioned are in the house.